Hey guys, how's it going? We're back here. I thought after that, why not just jump right back into this? I wish I would have just done this whole thing as one full stream now. I didn't know much about Bruce, of course. I knew a lot about Charles Bennett, but man, what a heart-wrenching story. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get back in here, and then maybe I'll cut some of this, edit it out later. But man, that is some craziness for sure. Absolutely. I said I should have just done this all as one stream, but I can't imagine the heartbreak of going through what he went through in that time. That was, I don't even have words. It's like I said, I was watching Charles Bennett streams. I've been watching his YouTube channel. You can look up his YouTube channel, Charles Felony Bennett, online. Just quick channels. You'll find him pretty easily. And I heard him talking about a guy that had committed suicide. And I did not realize it was Bruce's brother until Bruce brought it up on the show. I knew Bruce's brother had died recently. I didn't know what the causes were, and man, that just goosebumps. Man, I just had goosebumps down my spine when I remembered hearing the stories, and then I put everything together. It was like, man, so two guys that were friends, had a lot of respect for each other. Hopefully they're still all friends. I'm not trying to create that beef there, but definitely adds an incredible backstory to this fight. A lot of motivation on both these guys' parts. Charles Bennett's been, he's been through the ringer in his life in MMA. I'm sure he's going to talk about that a lot, but that's a guy they talk about, being dealt, the hand that you're dealt with. I mean, this guy was dealt with a 2-3 opposite suits, and sometimes that's what you're dealt with. RS, I not directly, not directly. I don't think that's a good way to start it out with. I've asked him about his opponent and that he knows him. Like I said, I've been watching the streams. I've been watching Charles's streams. I watched just a little bit of Bruce because I just got in contact with him today. Was happy, I thought, oh, I'm gonna be doing, the interview with two guys that probably don't know each other. They're gonna be fighting, and let's get some banner going back and forth. And Charles could be watching right now. If he's watching right now, don't go away, Charles. We love you. We know, this is a tough sport, and it takes some tough guys, and it's two tough guys for sure. Yeah, I'm not a big Helwani fan. Sorry, RS, but we'll make it good. How about that? You guys get to listen to me talk enough, though. I like to let the fighters talk as much as possible, but definitely have plenty of questions to ask Felony Charles Bennett. He's one of the most entertaining guys in the sport for sure. I mean, I've been watching him for a long time, and like Bruce talked about, grabbing him by his, that guy by his legs and swinging him around and smashing him into the fence. And the guy is just a dangerous, reckless dude. And I think those two guys, with the passion and that Felony brings in there, the emotion that Bruce brings with him, man, I see fireworks. I see fireworks definitely, and save your money to donate for these guys to that thing. God bless them. Those guys out there that have a porn addiction, they have an excuse to buy some tokens now, apparently. Not really. But yeah, that's an interesting gig. I didn't even get into talking with him about how much they paid him. I was so taken aback by his story, by his family being split up, by his brother's suicide. Man, it was really hard for me to even speak there for a few minutes. That was 30 of my favorite minutes that I've ever had on the mic, but probably the most heart-wrenching 30 minutes that I've ever talked to any human being. Hell yeah, man, a fight is all about hype. I haven't been this excited about a fight in a long time. Honestly, as far as hype, I'm not as excited about any fight in the UFC, I don't think, as I am about this fight, man. Don't forget, crazy horses are the forbidden horse. Yeah. What's up, Jason? How's it going, man? So I had a late notice, but I had Charles Felony's opponent, Bruce the Lion, on right before this. So you're going to have to check out that interview later. Bruce the Iron Lion Lachmedio. Incredible backstory. Incredibly hardworking dude. Both these guys are just really hard guys not to root for. They were just dealt, I'll just say it, they were dealt shit hands in life. I mean, some people are dealt, if you're playing Texas Hold'em, some people are dealt, a pair of aces, and then they're excited when they're successful. And then some people are dealt a 2-3 of different suits, and, or they're not dealt any cards. They got to jack the cards. I'll tell you, these guys, there might be some animosity between them now. There might not be. They have pretty similar stories as to how they grew up. I'm sure Charles will go into it. But he has 11 brothers and sisters. And his mother had them all with different men. So he has 11 brothers and sisters that 11 of them that basically that don't know their father or have very little contact with their father. So I can't imagine. I've listened to him talk because he's basically raised himself since about 13, 14 years old. And both these guys, Bruce too, basically he said he basically raised himself since 16 years old. I mean, these are the stories that sell fights. These are the guys that you want to see in Bellator. I hope Bellator is watching. I hope Bellator is listening to these guys' stories. I hope that they listen to Bruce's story. I doubt they're going to hear it on my small channel, but maybe somebody will pass it on. That'd be nice. I'd appreciate it. But that would be a good leg up on the UFC. Or if they get into the UFC, that's a great story too. But I said super marketable guys. It's a lot different when you watch a fight and you care about the guys in the cage. And you know the backstory, and then you see this incredible, whatever you want to call it, between these guys. They were friends, the deal with his brother, whatever animosity there is now, I don't know. Bruce maybe insulted Felony, and Bruce felt insulted back. So there's obviously, I don't think there's a lot of hurt feelings about these two punching each other by the time they get into the cage at this point. So what questions do you guys have, since we have a few minutes before that, what questions do you guys have for Felony? I know a lot of you guys have been watching him for quite a while. Like I said, I apologize for the pause. I should have just done this whole thing as one stream. I was hoping Bruce would go right up until the hour. But with the time difference, when I first started talking to him, he was actually instructing the guys that were running around the track. While he was doing our interview, he was teaching class in the gym he owns. So talk about a hustler, man. And a lot of these guys have done that. When I was talking to Shoney Carter, he was actually here at the beginning of his thing. These guys are so gracious. People have a certain stigma of fighters, and the respect that they've shown me is just unbelievable. I mean, Shody Carter, he was starting the beginning uh, of his judo class. He's teaching, and he's like, hey, just a second, let me give these guys a little instruction. And then boom, right to the interview. He's mine for 35 minutes. He's ours. And, you know, Bruce's was about 35 minutes. So that's going to be a tough act to follow for sure. I only know about the one time that Charles has been to jail. So I know a little bit about that. But I said, I mean, the guy, he was dealt a shit hand. Absolutely. And to get into professional fighting and get himself some skills and get himself, you know, the career and promote himself the way that he has. He's fought in Japan. A lot of you guys probably know a lot of the stories about the deal with him and Vanderlei Silva. If you don't, I'm going to let him tell that. Over in Japan and the fights outside of the cage. Just so many stories. Hopefully he goes into a recent story in Thailand that he had that nobody's going to tell that story except for Felony Bennett. I will say nobody's going to tell that story except for Felony Bennett. That's probably why he's not in the UFC. They can't handle him. You know, like when you say you can't handle the truth, Charles Felony Bennett's going to give you the truth. And a lot of people say they want the truth, but when the truth comes out like that, they don't want the truth. They don't want to know. You know, when it starts getting too real, a lot of these guys start ditching. A lot of the executive guys, a lot of the promoters and stuff, they say, we want real, we want raw. And then you say something like he says, and he says, wait, you can't say that. Well, you told me you wanted raw. He just had the same situation with Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen, he was on Chael Sonnen's show for a few minutes, and Chael censored him and over dropping a couple swear words because, you know, Chael's so perfect. And then that was the end of the interview. That was it right there. And Chael dropped him, and I thought, you guys can look it up. But I didn't think it was real cool of Chael. Maybe he should have done his homework before he had him on there. Or maybe he planned to get him on and kick him off. I don't know. I don't know what's going through Chael's mind. He's a charismatic dude, but he's also, you know, in the past he's been a professional liar sometimes. Like Yoel Romero pissed off Dana White for the gay Jesus. Oh, jeez. All right, I am going to call Charles Felony Bennett right now. Let's give him a call. Hopefully he is still up, since we also had an issue with time zone. I didn't realize these guys were in the exact same area. I mean, the exact same area. They're very close to each other. And it's saying not reachable. We'll give him a couple minutes. So I'll let him know. I'll let him know on my phone that I'm trying to call him here. Dana hates when people bring up politics in the octagon. Absolutely. He absolutely does. And I'll cut all this when I post this later. If you guys haven't noticed, I made a playlist for all the people that we've interviewed on here. I put them together. Oh, there's Charles right there. He is calling. Felony, Charles Bennett. What's up, man? What's going on? Can you hear me? Hey, Charles, can you hear me? It's like we're having a little issue with sound. Yeah, I wouldn't rate that call really well. So let's try that one more time. go. Now I hear a phone ringing. Hello? Hello, Charles, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, Felony? How's it going, sir?
Mike.
Hey, I heard that.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm having a little issue with your audio. You still there? Well, I definitely would not rate their calling great right now. Definitely having our share of issues here.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All
You want
right.
to hear Hey, listen. No. I'm almost to my hotspot designation. Yes, where I'm at, I'm going to continue to lose service and grab service. So, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, we'll go ahead and hang up, and we'll go ahead and call me when you get back to your hotspot.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
All right, sounds good, man. Talk to you then.
Uh,
All right, bye. All right, so it looks like we got another 5 minutes there. Forget. Yeah, I don't know what the thing is about. Oh, don't forget Jesus. Yeah, I think Yoel Romero, I thought, was a pretty religious guy, actually. So I was pretty sure he's Christian. They're out of Cuba. Jason says, I know, but that is what everyone knows it as. Yeah, he said, don't forget Jesus. But I'd never heard that, actually. If you guys haven't seen his podcast on Joe Rogan yet, though, that was incredible. With great Joey Diaz translating for Yoel. You guys need to check that out. I think it's about 2.5, 3 hours. And that was incredible. But he talks about all the adversities in Cuba and all that stuff. And man, what a tough hand Bruce was dealt, though. Bruce the Lion, like I was just talking about. Um, yeah. You seen it, Jason? Yeah, that was good, man. Yeah, that does suck, RS. That's just poor. I think that's poor communication by the UFC. I don't know what they're doing sometimes. I mean, I know they got 700 some fighters. I'm not saying I could do a better job, but they're owned by a damn entertainment company now. So you would think that they could communicate things with their fighters a little better in the public, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not them. If you're just tuning in here, Charles Bennett just called. He's about 5 minutes away from his hotspot, so he's going to call back. But we had Bruce the Lion, his opponent, on right before him. Bruce the Lion, Lachmiro, and I didn't know these guys have a history together. They were actually friends. He was friends with Bruce's brother, who unfortunately passed away in January. And Bruce just went through the ringer, man. My heart goes out to this dude. Um, you hear a lot of stories, but man, it's like to think about going through all that. And a lot of it, like I said, because some people were born on a different piece of dirt. And it's like, when are we going to get over that? I know we don't want criminals in the country. Fine. And I'm not going to get super political here, but don't think you're all special and you're all great because you were born 20 miles from another person's piece of dirt. Everybody came over as immigrants to begin with, and some people forget that. So much respect to that dude for getting through everything that he has. He's 26 years old right now. He's running his own gym. He's also working 3 other jobs. I mean, he's delivering food, he's teaching class, and he's training for an MMA fight. So, I mean, that's the guys we need to be promoting. You want to be out in public and get some faces out there that people are going to identify. Give them that struggle. You know, people are out there struggling. They can identify with struggle. I don't know how many people can identify with all that. But, you know, people can identify with struggle. Give them somebody to root for. And both these guys, how can you not root for these guys? Like I said, they were dealt shit hands. They were dealt shit hands. Charles Felony Bennett, 11 brothers and sisters from 11 different fathers. His mom was a crack addict. He'll bring that up. And some of the shit he's been through in life, having to deal with people, the way he talks, you know, raising himself from 13, 14 years old. Jason says, I want to see Charles rip open a stuffed dog again like he did in Pride. That was incredible. I don't know if he's going to do that. I remember seeing the highlights for sure. RS says, white Americans didn't come over as immigrants. They invaded the Indians and killed them all. Well, good point there, RS. I don't know anybody that was alive that was a part of that, but can we just all chill out and get along now? You know, everybody that's working, just kind of leave them alone. They're working their ass off, and you know, let's all be peaceful and try to work together. Fighting brings people together, right? Nothing makes guys friends more than punching each other in the face for 30 minutes. That's what I always say. Jason says that is true. Not one single white person alive today was responsible for that. Yeah, he's not trying to blame anybody. He's coming over as a joke. But what I'm saying, you know, is we just need to not judge people, I think. Whatever you subscribe to, you subscribe to religion, you subscribe to, you know, whatever. You know, we're all people. We're all people. We're all brothers and sisters in whatever you believe in. And, you know, just because you get into a cage with 2 people, you know, with another person doesn't mean that you can't be friends afterwards. You can't shake hands. Absolutely, Jason. Absolutely. You know, we have a tribal nature that we can't deny. I try to fight that as much as possible. Like I said, that's why I try not to get into like the politics. Why I don't pick a side like this left and right thing. As we're going in between this time, that's because I don't have a side. They're both just divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, some of us said, and we just need to stick together. You know, as fight fans, as humans, as you know, good, decent individuals, and help people out when we can. You know, help people out when we can. Hopefully, we're able to help some people out with this event that these guys are throwing, where you know people can reach out and donate to some of the fighters, and that's a great thing. Maybe some people don't support the avenue that they're coming from, but that doesn't mean some good can't happen from it. I just hate that they are against immigration so much, Landon. Well, that things are changing here, RS, and things are just like we don't know what it's like over in your country. You know, everybody doesn't know everything that's going on. Yeah, at the end of the day, like you said, Jason, we're all people. We're all people, and we got to work through a lot of crap of people that have stereotyped and whatever, you know, not criminals, yeah. But you know, it is an issue. Sometimes the wrong people coming over, and the only reason I bring that up is I do want to kind of do a shout out. I had a friend that I used to work with. His name was Ty Burley, here in the Marysville area, and you can look him up. And this was just a couple weeks ago. He was a friend of mine. He won $7,000 at a casino a few miles from where I work. And after he had won the money, the story was is he was sharing some with some elderly people. He was known as a kind guy. He wasn't perfect, but he was a kind guy. And some guys came out and robbed him and shot him and killed him. And the guy almost made it to Mexico. They were able to stop him. I can't remember where it was, but it was closer to the border. It was in California. I want to say Temecula. So I want to say it was Temecula that they stopped him in, and they killed him, you know, and they killed one of my friends. But that's not them. That's that individual person. That's that individual idiot that killed my friend. That's not anything to do with anything of where people come from or what their background is or story or whatever. That was a stupid individual. Yeah, the media tries to pull us apart. That's why I don't watch the news anymore. I watch very, very little news. If I hear something major, I'll bring up the AP reports on my phone. I don't even really like to trust them anymore, though. Even the Associated Press. If you want to download the app, if you want to see where everybody gets their news from before they twist it to their side, you can download the AP News app, and you'll get the stories. I use it to do videos and stuff with, but you'll get the stories that the media gets before they write it to their scenario. So, yeah, Baylife says, I gave up on the news as well. Us Americans say they come here to steal our jobs. That's selfish. I haven't watched the news in years. Well, good for you, Cap. Cap, how's football season going? Now we're oh, hey, there we go. Charles is calling. And I'm not able to answer from here, apparently. I thought I answered. Oh, he's trying to call from a video chat. I can't. I don't have video chat set up. So we'll see how this works here. This is gonna be a messy video. I'm gonna have to edit for once.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me now, Felony?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, man. Hey, I didn't have the video chat set up. Sorry about that. I'm just on the audio here though, so.
Okay.
So we're just doing the audio. How's your day going, man? Thanks for taking time out of your day for coming on here, and hopefully we can promote your fight.
It's pretty good, man. You know, quiet day.
Yeah. Well, sorry about the mix-up in the time zone. I have the same issue with Bruce. I didn't realize you guys were so close to each other.
Yeah, he's in Fort Lauderdale. He's in the Fort Lauderdale area. Yeah. I'm talking about something wholly different also.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Hey, let's start this out for people that don't know about you, man. You got an incredible backstory. You surpassed a lot of odds in life, man. You want to tell people a little bit about your backstory for maybe people that don't know as much about you?
It's all over the internet. It's not a story that we're first talking about. It's all over the internet. We've told it over 1,000,000 times. So pretty much, yeah. 'Cause when I go live on YouTube, I tell enough for people to understand. And if they don't understand, then I don't know what to do for them. Have it in the picture. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's all over the internet.
Yeah, well, it definitely is, man. I've been watching your YouTube channel. I'm subscribed to it. I like it. You're a very funny guy. How did these guys approach you? How did this promotion approach you? Because this is a pretty unique thing, man. This is kind of by an adult entertainment industry.
Yeah, well, I was contacted through my Instagram when I had one. I don't know what happened to it. Someone deleted it. So they contacted me, and it was like, actually, it was Matt, Mighty Matt. And he was telling me that there was a promotion that was trying to put on this MMA fights, but it was a webcam. What's good, bro? It's a webcam promotion. So, I've been thinking about getting into porn, so I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that real quick. And it's Kimbo Slice, old manager.
Oh, really? Well, one of the guys on the live stream here asked, are you getting a multi-fight deal, or is this just a one-fight thing for now?
They're just testing it, so it's the first time one fight deal.
I like the idea that people can donate to you guys, and you can make some more money. Hopefully, they're cutting you a decent paycheck.
Oh yeah, man. It's a nice payday. It's a real nice payday. I'm not complaining about the payday. I'm not complaining about the payday.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'd like to see you make some money and hopefully get into. You've talked about getting into some movies and stuff. We need to get you. You need to write a book. You obviously have an amazing story and get you some more credibility. But maybe one of these days you can stop getting punched in the face for a living and get on the big screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do with this YouTube thing, man. Hoping to make it happen with this mainstream life. I can't wait. Actually, it's either gonna be movies or porn. Either or. I don't care. Either or. That's Journey right there. Journey and Diesel. Hey, y'all need to stop. Y'all get your hand out the phone, Diesel. Thank you, Diesel. You know how kids are.
Oh, I know, man. I got kids. I love them though. Yeah, for sure. Or maybe both. You could do movie. Do the movies, do everything. You can.
I know, right?
Yeah, like I said. I just want to see you make some money. I've been watching you for a long time. I didn't realize that you knew your opponent this time. I didn't know much about Bruce the Lion, but I guess you guys had known each other a little bit before you get in the cage with somebody. Do you usually know your opponent?
No, I don't. Like I said, the reason why this guy. I know this guy because he was on my Instagram, and like I said, he was trying to get me to give his brother a shout out after his brother done committed suicide. And I'm totally against suicide killers. So there was no shout out, and I was really getting to the point where I wanted to tell him, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, fuck your brother. I don't give a fuck that he killed himself. He killed himself. What the fuck why should I be on my page giving this nigga a shout out? He fucking killed himself. So I wanted to tell him that, but I just continued to read the messages that he was sending me, asking me to give his brother a shout out.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, after he was on and after listening to you some, there's a lot of excitement for this fight because you guys do have what some fans are considering a little bit of a history now, and that's definitely helping sell the fight. I guarantee there's a lot of people are excited to watch this fight, man.
Yeah. I didn't know what that was. So it's pretty one-sided though. I can assure you that it's pretty much one-sided, and this nigga think that he even stand a chance. I really don't like the guy because like I said, he tagged me in some shit on Facebook, and he just really disrespected me on that tag that he tagged me on Facebook. You know what I mean? And after reading that and knowing that nigga, you was just on my fucking Instagram, so you know how I feel about what you posted on a nigga page. Fuck you and your brother. Your brother killed himself. He's a fucking dumbass. And you're a dumbass for fucking sitting up here fucking shouting this nigga out every time you get a chance. Like, nigga, fucking grow some balls, nigga.
Wow. Well, if that's not a promo, dude, you knew how to cut a promo. And I'll tell you what, we heard his side of the story, of course, a little earlier. He talked about it. He did grow up watching you. You know, he was a fan of you. He liked watching you fight. And then, you know, obviously there was, you know, that there was some beef there. Like you said, he disrespected you online. He felt a little disrespected in there. In the fight game, some adversity, man. That's not always a bad thing. Do you want to have a lot of adversity? Can you just not wait to get your hands on this dude, though?
No, I mean it's you know that's what everyone wants to think, right? They wants to think I'm like this animalistic ass nigga, but there's no animalistic over here, man. I just be chilling. I don't nigga sign the contract. I wait for the fight. Pay me the money, I'm happy. Anything else is just uncivilized. You know? Does that make sense? So yeah, I can wait to get my hands on old Bruce. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing. We only almost a month out, and that's the. You know what you're supposed to be showing me? Yeah, that's the fun part about it is I know that I'm gonna be trained up for this fight, and this little fucking punk ass nigga that always getting on my shit till I shout your suicidal ass brother out. Fuck you and your suicidal ass brother. You ain't my brother. You know? So that's how I feel about that guy now, you know? Like, shit. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy to be seeing you get paid. Like I said, I've been a fan of your style for a long time between the thing with you and, you know, knocking out Vanderlei Silva. I will bring that up for a minute because, like you said, that story's out there. But a lot of people will try to dispute that. When you watch the video cut, it's obvious you knocked him out. It's very obvious.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, though. It makes the video even more unique when people don't actually believe it, but you can see the reaction of when me and this guy met up last time, how he reacted, you know what I'm saying? The nigga reaction of what was going on and what we had planned. know.
Well, yeah, and
So,
he. Oh, go ahead.
which meaning that what we had going on, right, is I knocked this nigga out in 2005. What we had planned was, okay, it's 15 years later, maybe this guy is grown up, but that was not the case. Nigga was still salty about a nigga TKing on his bitch ass, so that's how he felt about that, you know. Just to remind old pussy ass nigga Bruce, nigga, uh, I don't support fucking suicide killers. Fuck your brother and you, bitch. It's just for the disrespect, man. It was real disrespect for what he did. Considering that, oh, you understood how I felt about this. I explained this to you in a whole fucking long message. So it doesn't matter.
Man, we got a couple questions from a couple guys on the stream. They wanted to say, are the rules any different for this than any other fights, like Pride rules or anything? Is this just like UFC, Bellator, run of the mill for the fight that you have coming up?
Nah, the rules are pretty much. I'm absolutely sure the rules will be the same.
Do you prefer Pride rules? Do you prefer that kind of fighting, that you go to that kind of fighting back?
You said what?
I'm saying, do you prefer the Pride rules? Would you prefer it that you go back to that kind of fighting with limited rules?
Pride rules was the shit though. Yeah, Pride rules was the shit.
Yeah, that's what a couple of my fans, Jason Azevedo, was asking about that. If you like the Pride rules, all the fans love the Pride rules. Obviously, there's some people in the States, they, to keep it legalized and stuff, they took some of that stuff out. But yeah, I loved it, and they got it going on over there in Ryzen FC. If anybody knows anybody about it, anything with a passport, I heard you talking. I've been watching your stream lately about how they've been keeping you out of China and Japan, dude. You need to be over there fighting. Have you heard anything new on that?
No, I don't know why I can't go back to Japan. They flag my visa every time, so that's why convicted felon. They say you can't go. You can't do it.
Mama.
Well, yeah, it's kind of weird because it seems that you were able to go over there before, and now you're not able to go. So I hope that gets figured out for you because, you definitely deserve to make a living. You've entertained enough of us over the years that I don't like to see you struggle. I'm glad that these guys are paying up on you, and hopefully a lot of people donate. I know they're able to donate for these fights, for the coins, and something I heard was they can donate to have you guys do certain things in the ring or cage. You know much about that?
Yeah, I read about that. I did read about that.
Mama, come
here. It was different. You know what I mean? Like it's a different different feel of things. You know what I'm saying? Different feel of things. Because they can throw coins for different things and all this. So yeah, we're gonna see how this is set up. I mean I like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, considering what the fight is worth.
Can I show you what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm saying? Considering what the fight is worth, you can still make extra. Yeah, go ahead. You can still make extra money and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a real good one.
Well, I like that basis set. I don't understand why, some of these things, like these guys in the UFC, they have problems. They can't, use their promotions anymore. They can't get tips. I like this kind of thing. I've wanted to do my own MMA event. I've planned on doing it hopefully for about 15, 20 years, and a model like this maybe makes it for a guy like me to be able to do something like that one day. But, You know, I like it. Anything that the fighters can make more money for, I'm all for.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think it's done, bro. That's just the
Well, I know you're a busy man and you got your own stream, but how do you see this fight going, man? You're training. You know something about your opponent. How do you see this going down, man? Tell us how it's going to happen.
uh, I think I'll finish him in the first. But me personally, honestly, that's why I say I'm not gonna be filming any more of my. Hold on, bro. I'm not gonna be filming any more of my sessions of me wrestling because I don't want to discourage old Bruce punk ass. You know what I mean? I don't want him to see it and be like, oh yeah, this nigga. I don't think I stand a chance with this guy. I don't want him to think that. So. Yeah, but if he thinks wrestling, I'm absolutely certainly sure I hit harder than this guy. I know I do. So that's not a problem.
Well, I don't know too many guys that hit harder. I know I kind of got you behind with the mix-up in the time, and you're pretty busy. But can you tell people you got your own YouTube channel out there for people that aren't watching your streams right now? Everybody, subscribe to his YouTube channel right now.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Felony Charles Bennett. You guys make sure to come on over there. I smoke a lot of crack over there too. You know, I have people come in sometimes, special guests, and I talk about a lot of dumb shit, pretty much. But you can sure donate to my PayPal. I'll be happy and friendly forever. That friendly ass nigga, man. Into that PayPal, bro.
Well, you're definitely one of the most eccentric and entertaining interviews out there. And that's why a lot of guys want to get you. Hopefully, you're able to capitalize on that some.
Listen, I wouldn't have charged you. I wouldn't have charged you for the interview, but everybody on YouTube was screaming, "Tell Mike, tell Mike to cut the check, man." So I had to tell you to cut the check, man. That's what the fans want you to cut the check. So I had to tell you to cut the check. I was. So that's why I told you
that. Hey, I don't pay for interviews. Don't snitch on me.
Yeah, you didn't pay for this one, motherfucker.
you check your PayPal account. You got a little something in there from me.
Yeah, fucking $8, niggas. What the fuck is $8? What fucking do with that?
Hey, I'm a poor son of a bitch that had to have his internet turned back on today too, man. we're in similar boats, bro.
They turn my internet on just cause I paid this nigga $8 and I need my motherfucking $8, bro.
All right, man. Well, like I said, everybody subscribe to Crazy Horse's channel. Donate him for his fight, April 26th. I know you're going to take care of business, and it's going to be a great fight, bro. Thank you very much. You still there? I thought about it, Cap, but no. What was Charles' favorite moment doing me? Oh, geez, yeah, that's quite the exciting guy, dude. Damn. Yeah, I think a lot of people were hoping that Baylife, but I hope it's a great fight, either way. But yeah, Jason, watch the interview. Anybody who didn't watch the interview with Bruce, and we don't know the whole story, man. You're gonna hear something from both of their sides, but I've said it before. I've never said it with any guest before, but I will say This guest does not represent the opinions of me, my family, this channel, or anyone else I know. You like that, Cap? He just hung up. He just hung up. He done pissed me. He's probably not going to be on here again. I'm sure of that. I'm sure he's somewhere swearing. I'm going to find that mother, and I'm sure I'm going to end up in one of his streams. But I don't know. It is what it is, and. Oh, that was classic. I can't wait till April 26th on Thursday. So we'll do the MMA live at 5 on Thursday. We'll start at 5, do the pre-fight thing, and then 6 o'clock we'll be able to watch it. It's all going to be free. I'll have the link up for the fights. Rico Rodriguez is fighting that night as well. But man, some entertaining fights. Until this morning, I didn't know who Bruce was. I'd never talked to him in my life, and now I guess I know who he was. And no, I didn't. That just kind of slipped out there, Cap. I'm gonna have to listen back to the audio now. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I hope it was entertaining. Now, yes, Rico, former heavyweight UFC champion, for sure. He's getting kind of old, but they got some names out for this card. I'm glad the guys are getting paid well. When Ariel called Jason Miller Mayhem, Jason wanted to beat him up on his show. I almost gave him $2, but I told him on the thing, I just want to make sure it's working. I think he got a little upset there. What do you guys think? Should I invite him back on the show afterwards? I think I should invite them both back on the show afterwards, and we'll have some group therapy. But I don't think he's doing Fight Companion UFC 223 with me. And yes, $8. That's the only time I ever paid anybody for an interview. He got pissed when I mentioned that too. Jesus. People were like, cut the check. And I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have... I'd looked in there, and honestly, that's what was in my PayPal account at the time. So I sent $8 over. I was just watching a video. He just got his lights turned off. So, yeah, he's had a hard day. He was actually expecting to interview about 3 hours before. I told him it was 5 p.m. Pacific, but I'm sure he forgot or maybe didn't look in there. So he was expecting me at 2 o'clock our time, 5 p.m. Eastern. So he's been waiting on this for 3 hours. I called him at about 2:40 or so and told him when I realized I'd got a message from him. It just says, yo. And then I realized what had happened when Bruce came to me, and the same thing. He thought it was Eastern time. And I hadn't told Bruce it was Pacific time. That was my miscommunication. And then I realized, oh shit, you know, I told Felony the same thing. So, Mike, you have good people skills to even be able to get a guy like that on here. Well, thank you, Jason. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. If you knew me in my other life, you might not think that, but I'm trying. It'll probably be the last time that I get him on here, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll give him an invite back, but I don't know that he's coming. You have to bring back Horwich back. I want to hear more about the multiverse. I wanted to get Matt Horwich and Felony Bennett on the same show. And this was the idea. And actually, when I started talking to Charles, he didn't even know he had this fight. And my idea was to set up a fight between Matt Horwich and Charles Bennett, because I thought that promo would have been gold. Just to hear those two talk to each other. I can just imagine what Bennett would say to him when he goes off on that spiel about the multiverse and the flying dolphins and whatever else that was. I did not realize I called him Crazy Horse. I didn't realize it just came out. He was known for that. It's so long. It just came out. I honestly didn't even realize it, and until you said it, I got to go back and listen to the video because I don't even remember doing it. Charles Bennett and Jason Miller would be insane. I don't think it would be possible. I'm definitely going to try to get Jason Miller, being that I got an in with Matt Horwich now. Maybe I can get him on, but I don't think that guy's talking to much of anybody right now. I don't have no idea what the hell he's doing right now. I don't even know if Matt's talked to him for a while. Like Matt said, even Matt told him, it's like, get your life together, man. Come with me and we'll run our comic book dojo on the farm. Well, classy guy there, Bruce. You guys seen the message pop up? Bruce thanking us all for the interview. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I hope not. I hope not, guys. Oh, and he's asking when will the interview be up. So I'm gonna go talk to Bruce because he might not hang up on me. That's why. Oh shit. Mighty Mouse does live near me. He might be a little out of my league, but I do know some people that train with him. So I am going to put a feeler out there again. And there's a few guys in this area that train. But yeah, I'd love to have him. I'm a huge fan of Mighty Mouse. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go talk to Bruce for a minute and think about that. And I'm going to do some creative editing, I think, a little bit with this and make a little bit of a promo because I don't think Felony Charles Bennett is probably my friend right now. So I think I'll do some creative editing and see what kind of promo we can get together. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks again, guys. Everybody have a great night.